amazing events going on around the community. Ken Block was a motorsport icon, and his loss is felt deeply by the Forza team and his fans around the globe. Last month, we asked you to help us celebrate his life by submitting your Ken Block and Hoonigan-related in-game photos, clips, and videos to be included in a tribute video. We'd like to play that for you right now. There were too many amazing submissions for us to include in one video, so if you would like to see the rest of them or contribute your own, head to Twitter and search Forza KB. Now, though, it is time to send you over to Charlie for our Forza Horizon 5 update. She's been hanging out at Playground Games all morning, lucky Charlie, celebrating the reveal of the game's next expansion. So, Charlie, take it away.
Thank you so much, Leah, and welcome back everyone to Playground Games. I've got a fantastic crew on the couch with me today, including a couple faces we've not seen in a while, such as you, Andy Baranowski. You are today's resident car expert. How are you feeling about this role?
Yeah, great, thank you. It's good to be back. I think you can actually measure how long I've been away in years now.
Absolutely.
So yeah, great to be here, and I've decided to give Chris a little bit of a break from it, or you a little bit of a break from Chris. So,
thank you for saying it.
There's column A for the column B. Yes,
we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. And we also have Giuseppe Dallacante joining us. Welcome back. It's a pretty exciting day for the community, is it not?
Absolutely. Very glad to be here, but obviously community has got something to think about and looking forward to.
A couple little buzzes about.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
but no,
just
super exciting times, and glad to be back. And
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
And lastly on the sofa with me today is a man who truly needs no introduction at this point. It is Torben Ellert. Are you ready for another show together, my dear?
Absolutely.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
Let's smash it. By the way, before we do go into it, I do want to say a belated Valentine's Day for you all. I trust you spent it with some loved ones in Mexico, perhaps?
Yeah, I had a lovely day. I was super busy with my arts and crafts gear. Maybe I'll show you a little bit more about it
Ooh,
later.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure we'll find more about that pretty soon. But first of all, as Giuseppe said, there was a pretty big announcement earlier today. It was, of course, the reveal of the highly anticipated next expansion for Forza Horizon 5. Now, I must say, it looks absolutely incredible, but my words simply do not do it justice. So why don't we have another look at it?
Welcome to Sierra Nueva. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My, oh my, that does look a little bit fun to drive, does it not? Now, Torben, I know we did just do a whole other stream about this expansion, which if you've not seen, watch that after this, all right? But can you maybe give us a Torben quick summation, a condensed version, let's say, of Forza Horizon 5 Rally Adventure?
Absolutely. It's our second expansion. It is a brand new map, Sierra Nueva, which is really focused on answering that age-old question of what's best rally.
What bet rally?
It features 3 teams. Each team represents a different take on rally, be it road rally or mixed surface or really challenging night rally in the rain or the storms. Really an opportunity for players to experience some of the best roads I think we've ever made in a focused rally driving experience-led campaign.
A wonderful little package, and I can't wait to play it myself. You can learn more about the expansion on the Forza blog or on socials, but now I do want to turn our attention to the next content update. That's what I've gathered us here for today. So Torben, very quickly, what is in store for players in this next series?
Well, really, it's about getting ready for Horizon to go on a rally adventure.
We're moving on, but it is really all about that.
Right, and it's a theme we'll come back to as we look through everything in terms of the takeover of Horizon Wilds here. Like, really, the festival's getting ready to go, and Horizon Wilds is dressed up and ready for that rally adventure. We'll also see it in kind of a bunch of the cars that are in festival playlist, a bunch of the rewards in front of us, and really just opportunities for players to just get set to go to Sierra Nueva.
Absolutely, can't wait. Now, Giuseppe, I know you and so many people here have been blown away by all the photos, the liveries, the custom events that the Forza community has created to celebrate the memory of Ken Block. And I know it was really important for the team to also recognise Ken in game. So what content has the team added in this series to honour such an icon of motorsport?
You said right, I was just like extremely blown away from the very first moment that happened, and we saw that on every platform. We saw that on Reddit, we saw that on Instagram, Twitter, and it was such a, it was nice to see all the community,
everywhere,
basically, and as somebody that works in the community, I couldn't be more proud of what I've saw and just really unite players. So this is why we felt it was important to recognize also this a little bit in the game, since people have used Horizon 5 to love,
celebrate the man's life.
to celebrate.
Yeah,
the man.
Exactly. So many words to describe it.
Yeah, it's very even difficult for me to say it. But essentially, so starting with its iconic number 43. So if you know Ken Block, you know. And people will be able to get a badge that, starting of course with Horizon Wild Takeover, and what they need to do is to drive a Unigun car for 4.3 miles. I don't know how many kilometers are. I'm not very good at maths, but it's written there.
Yeah, in game that'll help you out. Yeah.
So it's not going to be that difficult to obtain. But what we think you're going to see a lot of those players
absolutely
using that, and just simple, just want to see as many players as possible using that.
Awesome.
Other than that, we have some new accolades. We have 20 new accolades focused on Hoonigan, and one of the accolades also rewards players with a Forza Link phrase, which, again, if you know Ken Block, you know. It's go fast, risk everything.
Love it.
And to get that, I think they have to do a few stunts here and there, obviously.
Brilliant, lovely, yeah.
And apart from that, we also have a car that's...
that Andy has been playing in the background of all of this and just enjoying. So Andy, what is this iconic Ken car? And it's returning in this season, correct?
That's right, yeah.
Yes.
So this is the 2016 Ford Focus RS RX, and this was the first of Ken's cars that we ever put in a Horizon game. So this was a car that he raced in Rallycross and also created the incredible Gymkhana 9 video with. So it's 600 horsepower, sequential gearbox, all composite and carbon fibre car. It's just an incredible thing to drive. Yeah, please stop.
And really challenging to drive.
Yeah. So I did a bit of reading about this car, and it turns out that it was sold for charity by Ken a while ago, and the buyer of the car lived in Australia, which is ironic because the Gymkhana 9 film was actually filmed in Buffalo, New York, but the original intention was to film it in Sydney, which would have tied in very nicely with Horizon 3 at the time.
Comes back round, isn't it?
It does. Yeah, so it's got this this fantastic livery on it that was by a guy called Philippe Pantone. And yeah, it's just an incredibly iconic car for Hoonigan, for Ken, and I think it embodies his spirit and also the spirit of Horizon really well as well.
Perfect merge of them both.
Yeah, I'm really pleased to have this car back.
And we also have 6 more iconic cars coming this season as well as rewards, including two that have never visited the Horizon Festival before. Andy, do you want to take us through those as well?
Should we take a look at them? In,
Yeah, I think
Let's
this
do
is perfect time to bust out my
is this when the
special
crafting's going to
Valentine's
come out?
arts
Oh,
and
this is
craft treat.
exciting. Okay,
There we
what
go.
have we
So,
got?
Happy belated Valentine's
For
Day.
me?
Yeah, there we go.
Ooh, okay.
Sorry, Torben.
Right, this says, I hope to Sierra you this series. Oh,
Okay.
what does it mean? What are you up
Right,
to?
so I'm going to get Torben to do a car hot swap
Okay, sure.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
into a Nueva Sierra
No.
to get you ready for Sierra Nueva.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think we should let that one slide, actually. That's one of the better ones
Okay,
we've
yes,
had on here. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so this is the Sierra Cars 700 RX. We have in game now the Sierra Alpha, which is the bonkers Sierra with all of the downforce aerodynamic stuff on it. We have the RX3, which is the naturally aspirated version of the Sierra chassis, still with the Hayabusa engine in it. And this is the version of the Sierra that maybe doesn't make your mind melt quite so much. It's their entry-level car, the 700 RX, so it's got a 700cc single-cylinder, I think it's a Yamaha Raptor engine.
Okay.
And so it's still the same tube frame chassis with all of the pickup points and everything, and all the geometry is adjustable. And the idea is that it's an accessible, more affordable version of the Sierra car that anyone can pick up and
Sure.
drive, whereas maybe the other cars are more targeted towards experienced and professional drivers. So it has a top speed just of 85 miles an hour, but I'm sure it won't take long.
start with.
Yeah, in our
Not long in this game, will
upgrades.
it?
But it has a really, really small footprint and it's super versatile across all terrains. So I think this is going to be a really, really useful car to have.
I think the question that I have is, when you've got a single cylinder, can you fit a turbocharger?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Is that even a question?
I'm very sorry. The reason why I ask, of course, is because of a certain anti-lag feature that's coming.
Oh, maybe if people didn't know about that, they should watch the previous stream VOD once they finish this one. I wonder what that could mean. Moving swiftly onwards, though.
Okay, right.
What's the other new car this month?
Okay, right. Giuseppe,
Hello.
Another one?
it's time for you too to be my Valentine because I'm a greedy.
How can I
greedy
say
man.
no to you? You're my. I'm not gonna. We rehearse this. I'm not gonna scream because it's basically like, you know,
This
caps
is-
lock. Huh?
You are
Ultimate.
my ultimate
I'm
Valentine.
Valentine. So thank you very much.
And I think you enjoy this one
yeah,
pretty much. This is our new Polaris
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
called the RZR XP Ultimate.
I'm sorry. Every time I think to this car, it reminds me of Windows. So I'm going to say it now, viewers. I don't know what camera it is. I would like a livery with Windows, and you put the switch horn with the Windows XP shutdown.
Of course, yes.
That's
The perfect machine.
That's basically what I have in my mind. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Yeah, Torben, maybe you can check and see if it's got solitaire playing on it.
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
No, it doesn't, but it does have an awesome little screen in it,
and a G counter.
yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, and it's got super trick shock absorbers, which you can control through that as well. So it's a side-by-side buggy, Polaris. Believe it or not, just over 10 years ago, they were making utility vehicles, you know, to go around like a farm or a golf course or something like that.
Thank
And
God
they-
they stopped and
Yeah.
started making these.
And they've essentially created this whole new segment of the sports utility vehicle, and this is their ultimate off-the-shelf, in inverted commas.
I mean, what's that shelf got to look like to have a
Yes, it
vehicle
is.
like this? It's a special kind of shelf, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, I've probably seen bigger shelves. It's actually quite a small car. But yeah, this is so it's about 180 horsepower. It's a twin-cylinder engine, CVT with the belt drive as other Polarises are. This one, so I believe we showed off Casey Curry's Polaris in the previous stream. I watched an awesome video of Casey Curry taking one of these XPs to Brazil to take part in a race, and unfortunately a load of his upgrades for his racing car didn't turn up in time because of customs. And I think
you lose your luggage.
All of that.
That's it. Maybe it was overweight his suitcase.
So he left some stuff behind that he didn't need, like for example, any of the bodywork.
Yeah, but it was so capable that he ended up, I think it was 8th out of 90 competitors in his class that he came with, what was essentially a standard car, which just goes to show it's like, I think it's got 30-inch tyres, 22 inches of suspension travel, so this really is a great little go-anywhere car for Sierra Nueva.
It's popping down the shops.
Absolutely.
Yes, if the shops are in Sierra Nueva.
Absolutely. All right, Torben, it's now segue time. I think we've had a brilliant look at some of the new cars, but I want to know more about the new festival playlist. So is it possible to have a jam through there?
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Let's take a look
stuff.
at that festival playlist.
So this is the Horizon Wilds takeover then. This is the new season. Talk us through it.
Absolutely. So this is the setup for our big adventure in Sierra Nueva. This is the Horizon Wilds Festival leaning into new decorations and just refreshing its look, ready to send everyone off to Sierra Nueva in a bunch of brand new cars.
Talking of which, there's one right there. And it's a great name, by the way. I love that the theme for this series is weird car names. The Brat, the what was it?
The Scumbug.
The Scumbug. How could I forget the Scumbug? So tell us a bit more about the Brat then.
Right, the Subaru Brat, which stands for, let me get this right.
Here we go.
Subaru, bi-drive, recreational, all-terrain, transport.
Stunning.
Okay, right.
Love it. Can we have a look at it quickly? Do you want to tell us a bit about it while Torben gets into it?
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Torben. So the Subaru Brat was Subaru's attempt to break into the small truck market in America. They did this with essentially a pickup body on their existing Leon car, and there was an interesting little tax system going on in America at the time to protect their domestic cars, where if you bought in a pickup truck, you were taxed really heavily with something called the chicken tax. And Subaru got around this by installing these plastic seats that you see in the back of it, these jump seats, which I think you have to be incredibly brave to get in.
Look, there's some handles to hang on to.
Yeah. And
exciting. Kind of look out the back as someone drives you around.
I think you'd be holding those handles very, very tightly.
You'd have to duct tape me to the seat.
Yeah, so using those seats, it was technically classed as a passenger car. You'd pick up your car, you'd rip the seats out, you'd probably chuck them in the garage and never use them again. So this little Subaru Brat only has a teeny tiny little 1.6 litre engine and four-wheel drive, but this is Horizon. You know exactly what's going to happen.
Not going to stay that way for long.
Yeah, we're going to take it straight to the upgrade shop.
Chris Phillips special 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah. Although I'd like to think that with the Subaru being a flat four, you'd keep that Impreza Turbo drivetrain and keep it Subaru sound.
No, 1,000 horsepower
V8.
or go home.
Okay, so
Go V8 or go home.
yeah, Chris Phillips would agree with that. But I told you, we're giving him a break. This is my go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is a Subaru Brat, and I think it's going to be a great fun car. It's basically a rally car with a pickup truck shell on the top. I think that's going to be great fun to drive around.
Wonderful. Should we head back to the playlist and see what else we've got then?
Absolutely. So, summer.
Yes, the E2 S1 Quattro. I mean, thank God we managed to get this in time, right?
Classy.
Could we have a rally game, a rally pack, without a Quattro? If you think of Group B, the Audi Quattro is the most iconic car of them all. It's got just this iconic 5-cylinder 2.1 litre turbo engine that just has this soundtrack unlike anything else. And if ever I think of that picture of a car jumping, through the air, flames spitting out the exhaust, it's the Quattro. So
see if I can choose the right car.
It's the big wide body kit with the great big spoiler on the back. This was the pinnacle of the Quattro before Audi bowed out of rallying at the end of the Group B era.
Oh wow!
And we've even got the extended bodywork from when they took this car to Pikes Peak as well.
So this car appears in the campaign in Rally Adventure, and of course you can unlock it in Festival Playlist, in Series 18, in the Horizon Wilds Takeover. You can unlock it at the 20 points reward, but if you want a second one, you can get one in Rally Adventure.
Wonderful stuff. Okay, is there any like key bits we want to call out throughout the festival playlist? Because I know you guys have some fun with some names. There's a couple new cars in there. Let's have a whistle-stop tour.
Yes.
I think it's important to mention that you will be able to see challenges and also dedicated to hooligans. Because of the team, of course. And like for Japanese automotive, we have, for example, 2 Event Lab series, 2 Event Lab events per season. But with summer specifically, I will like to get your attention to Seasonal Championship number 43, which you can guess. It's a legendary car owned by the legend in Focus, so that's how you get it.
Amazing. Love that. Really nice.
Very,
What do we have in autumn then?
So jumping to autumn.
Okay, we've got
Ooh.
yeah, we've got another car returning, the Honda Ridgeline trophy truck. This car won its class in the 2015 Baja 1000 race, which is 821 miles long, apparently that was. This was racing in Class 2, which means it was under 3.5 litre turbocharged cars. One, so this has got, I think it's a 3.5 litre turbo Honda engine. Yep, it's massive. It's huge. It's over 2 tons.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so you can imagine seeing that barreling at you through the deserts of Baja at night would have been quite a sight. So yeah, that's an awesome car.
Another great car to take into Rally Adventure.
Yeah.
Clip across the
See
sand
what
dunes,
we've done here.
chased by the helicopter. It'd be great.
So you do not have to slow down in that forest.
No, you do not.
No, you don't.
Do not.
All right, is there anything to call out down here, Giuseppe?
Yes, so if we go a little bit on the right, so first of all, we have one thing we need to mention is, Horizon Wilds takeover has some decorations. So the festival outpost in the Horizon Wilds got new decoration essentially suited for the event.
Yeah.
And also we have 3 paint walls on specific locations that players will discover for the photo challenge. They're going to be exclusive for this series. Then we see we see a new collectible, the Piñatasaurus.
Torben, is it finally time to talk about this now? You've been teasing me for like an hour and a bit at this point.
This is how you get it.
Yes.
But the item itself, you waste a little bit of time.
Okay, fine. So there it is, Smash 10 dinosaur piñatas around the stadium. Okay, lovely. Which I think we are outside of the festival playlist, so we can have a little peek at one of those in a moment. But let's go through winter and spring first.
Yes. So we've got the Polaris there.
Polaris, yep.
Yeah, I think I've already.
Yes, you have indeed.
You've impressed me with your knowledge on the Polaris.
I don't want to bore you. Keep it fresh.
I mean, I'll note the fact that you didn't say that he impressed you.
Right. Ooh. And we've crashed down.
Yes. Yeah, it's push through.
Oh, that's a wonderful Gladiator reference. 10 out of 10. This season's perfect.
Yes, amazing. Jumping to spring.
Yeah,
fun story. It was one of the very first experiences I made as a designer on this project was around the X-Race.
So that's why you're so keen for it. I love that. That's really lovely.
And we've got another returning car there as well. The it's not a Lego brick. No, it is the Nissan Safari Turbo. It is only 100 horsepower. 3 litre diesel.
It's doing its best.
It's doing its bless it. Yeah. Yeah, it's proper old school leaf spring 4-wheel drive. It is perfectly square. It's got a massive, great big winch on the front of it. When I see these old Safaris, or as we know them over here, Patrols, I always think of the YouTube videos of these with ridiculous engines stuffed inside them going just vertically up sand dunes, making noises that they should not make.
Stunning.
No, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but we've got an expansion coming. It's got sand dunes in it.
Yeah, there we go. So I can recreate my YouTube dreams.
You can indeed.
Yes,
Sierra Nueva. Perfect.
Wonderful. Yes. Right, any other things in spring?
I think there is another photo challenge, I think.
Yes,
there is.
Yeah, lovely.
A little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes. But just across the board, so many opportunities to pick up rally cars and rally monsters and just
Get you in the mood for it, you
fill
know?
out the gaps that you may have in your garage and get ready to stick some cheeky anti-lag into them and take them off to Serra Nueva.
Amazing. Right, should we have a very quick look? I'm going to derail us here. I do need to see this dinosaur bit at this point. All right, you've teased me long enough.
Yes.
Well, in the meantime, since we are, perfect opportunity, I have.
Have you been crafting as well?
I got. Well, I mean, I'm not an artist like Andy, but so there you have it.
It's for me.
Yes, look at that. Look.
Sorry, Tobin.
There you go.
Oh,
Sorry, again. This is like sorry, Tobin.
you are dynamite.
I
I think I know what this means, and it's perfect.
They-
Oh my god.
So there. That's the dinosaur outfit you're gonna unlock, smashing 20 collectibles, piñatas.
Is it everything you dreamed of, Charlie?
And more.
have it.
That's so
Just
good.
perfect for a night out.
Perfect, exactly. And I am hearing in my ear, yes, I think we might try to get Torben in this for the next show. Please watch this space. Wonderful. So I know you just said it then, Giuseppe, but I was so excited. How do we earn this again?
So you need to smash 20 collectibles, the piñata, which people can find around the stadium.
The stadium. Talking of which, returning alongside the new Horizon Wilds takeover is the fan favourite stunt park, which now finds its home nicely back within the stadium. So let's go have a look, and you'll
Let's
also
do that.
notice, guys, that there has been a nice little makeover on there as well.
Yeah,
What is
something
the
subtle,
makeover?
something understated.
Yeah, that's how we do it around
not-
these parts.
That's the Horizon way, subtle and understated. That's absolutely the best way to describe it. Okay, so we're going to go in there at night. So this is going to be just so very subtle and understated. And there is the first of the
There's
dinos.
my boy.
So smash one of those, and then it's just into the stunt park. People asked for it, and we bring it back.
Hey.
Now dressed and ready in the new colours of the Horizon Wilds takeover.
It's so good to see it back. It's just peak Horizon behaviour, right?
Yes, it is. Peak Horizon and leap around and smash through stuff and knock things down and drive through half pipes in cars. That yes,
It's like your commute to work, Toby.
I wish, Andy, I wish. Commute to work. Yes.
So we saw so many stands from the community. The first time when we introduced this, and a lot of comments like, "Please bring it back," or "Please don't take it away." But now it's back, so quite sure that we're going to see a few more stands just to keep the tradition.
Absolutely.
What about the challenges you need to complete in this area?
So basically, I think one of the accolades that we're introducing for the Bitunigans requires to do some stunts around the stadium. I might be mistaken. I'm like 90% sure, but there is always the 10% that is like, it is what it is. So you need to do a few stunts around the stadium to unlock the legendary rails from Block.
Ah, this is where we get it. Wonderful stuff.
Yes, go fast. Risk everything.
He'd love it. Perfect. Awesome. Well, I think we should also move on to, I know there's some bits and pieces you want to talk about in regards to bug fixes. And Little Birdie has told me that a new tool is being released to help the team tackle issues identified specifically by the community and share status updates. So, Giuseppe, I wonder if you could tell us a little bit more about that?
My pleasure. So essentially, in addition to working on the new content for Horizon 5, we also continue to work on those bugs that are being raised by the community in different ways. And we felt like, okay, this is a lot of work you've done there, so thank you very much for that. But what if we go with a platform that allows us to have better visibility and a better place for you to put all the reproduction stuff that we need in order, because when we go from the community and pass that to the developers, it's good to have all these steps. So we feel like having this will increase transparency when we let players open their bug report. So we pass that directly to the developers, and it's a platform that we call Troubleshooting Hub, that we call the FUB. Why do we call it like that? I'll explain. So it's similar to the Suggestion Hub, which we call
The shub. Yeah, there you go. We're on the same page.
Right, so you have the shub and the thub. So what the thub does is it's an area of our official forums. So people go there, they can open their bug report, putting all the reproduction steps, and people can upvote also those types of bugs. So not only us from the development team gets a better understanding on how many people are having this issue, but it's also a place for the community to see, okay, I'm having this, look, these are the steps that I'm doing to reproduce that and increase transparency, because it's something that is also going to be curated by us, updating those bugs, and also you're going to have an element where people can see the known issue in a basically curated by us as well, but just in a condensed place which is easier to browse. And one thing to mention, it doesn't completely take away the support website that people used to, for example, get the latest on the bugs or also report bugs. But especially for crashes, that's still something that people will still need to go through to the support and not particular.
Yeah, because crash dumps can have things about your
exactly.
hardware and stuff that you don't.
Sure, okay.
Exactly. So the more information players can provide in an easy place to browse, the better for us, better for them, better for everybody. So really looking forward to using the thub. It's going to become a me, I know that, to improve the players' experience.
And I think I say this every time we go through this section of the show, but I do really applaud you guys for being as transparent as possible about what it takes to make a game and to fix a live service game. So thank you so much for adding these elements as well. I'm sure the community are very happy with them. So wonderful. Right, well, that is all the time I have today to sit with you all and nerd out about the new expansion and the new seasons coming our way. So I want to thank all of you and all the guests we had on before for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Here's a reminder for you all. The Horizon Wilds Takeover content update begins next Thursday, March 2nd, and will be the perfect proving ground for you to experiment with off-road cars and tunes in anticipation of the new expansion, Forza Horizon 5 Rally Adventure, launching on March 29th. Now, you're all set to play the expansion on day one if you already own the Forza Horizon 5 Premium Add-ons Bundle, Premium Edition or Expansions Bundle, but if you don't have Premium, my dears, do not worry. Upgrading to the Premium Add-ons Bundle today will get you Forza Horizon 5 Rally Adventure at launch, as well as immediate access to the phenomenal Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels expansion, VIP, Car Pass and the Welcome Pack. So to learn more about Forza Horizon 5 Rally Adventure, check out the reveal stream VOD. I've said it a few times. Once this show finishes with Leah, she's great. It's going to be a great show. Go back and watch that. Visit the articles linked in chat and follow all the Forza Horizon social channels for the latest news, announcements and perhaps a little bit more. But as I said, that's it from us here at Playground Games today. I'm going to send you back over to Leah now and we will see you next month. Adios, everybody. Say it with me. Adios.
No, wait. Can we show what's coming next?
Oh, the coming soon bit?
Yeah, coming soon page, please. Sorry, I'm just like, sorry, I just want, please.
Okay, you ready?
Go on.
Go
This
for it.
better be worth it. Ooh.
Look at that. New cars, extended nighttime. Now, people in the chat, I know what they're going to tell.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and decorations are asking like, that's it, done.
Okay, should we say adios now?
Now we can.
Are you sure? Anyone else anything you want to
let me
add?
think about it. Yes, okay.
Okay, perfect. Right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Adios, everybody.
Thank you so much, Charlie, and all the folks at Playground. Coming up next is our community spotlight, but first let's have a look at the latest winners from the Forza Forum's official photo contest. Enjoy. Some very funky shots there. I can't get enough of the Horizon pinatas either. But now it is time for our community spotlight. Today's guest is a household name if you like to play Event Labs, and he's also an adept photographer who actually shows up regularly in the photo contest winners. But his most prestigious Forza award, undoubtedly, has to be winning a Golden Tank Award for Best Race Event for his Event Lab creation, Mullahay Outskirts. So let's take a look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Type Hardfork to the show this month. Hello, Type Hardfork. Great to meet you. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Elias, good to meet you too. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. I mean, we had to have the very first ever Golden Tank Award Best Race Event winner here, of course. It's very necessary. And we just saw a clip of that track, the Mullahay Outskirts. So from the creator himself, why don't you tell us a little bit about the track in your own words and what makes it so special?
Okay, yeah, I mean, I build a lot of rally events, and so I'm often looking on the map for a place to build, and there were some roads on the outskirts of Mullahay that I wanted to build on, and it was an area that there wasn't a real great way to close the circuit out using dirt, and so I went ahead and started building custom sections there, running along the river or over the river and jumping over a bridge over by the town, and a big looping turn there at the end to kind of get me back onto the road so that I could close the circuit out. And so it was a fun build, and I think fun to drive. I must have been if it made it up onto the editor's choice list at one point in time. And then of course the tank award, which was really cool.
Just the little part again that it's award winning, and I actually see the Golden Tank trophy behind you on the shelf there. So pride of place next to the beautiful planet. What sort of inspired you to build this track? Was it anything in particular?
Typically, I find myself sitting on looking through the map in Forza and looking for places to build. And like I said, a lot of times there's a place that you'll look to build like a circuit, and you're like, oh, this would be great, but I'm missing a way to close this out. But with all the tools that we've got in the Event Lab, we can build our own roads now, and put our own spin on it. And that's kind of what I did, was just like, let me get a decent length track that's not too long, but then I can put my spin on it.
Absolutely. I mean, how did it feel to win the first ever Golden Tank Award for Best Race Event? That's pretty prestigious.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. It's not only exciting to win it, but also kind of humbling just to be in that list of people who got nominated. I've spoken probably with most of them on various socials, and I know this and people, and blown away by the work that so many of them do, and just to be in that group was awesome, and to get the award was cool too. So yeah, it was very cool.
Definitely surrounded by a lot of very talented people, and that's what makes the Forza community so freaking awesome. So you have been creating custom tracks for how long now? Like, how did you get into that?
I started out actually in Forza Horizon 4 when Super 7 was rolled out, and I'm an engineer by day, and so when seeing a creative outlet that kind of I could use my experience, having worked in using solid modeling or other building environments, so. And it was like, okay, this is right up my alley. This is something I'd love to do. And so I started building Super 7s in 4, and then of course was totally stoked when 5 was coming out, and we saw that the builder was going to be added into the route creator as well. And that's like, because there's something when we were in 4, we're like, oh man, I wish I could do this for races too, and now we can. And so I've have continued on in 5, and of course we've got a whole lot more props since just this huge budget that we can use now of props. We didn't have near as much ability to put a whole lot of props in there, whereas now it's just, you can go crazy.
Yeah, a lot of options these days. And this wasn't actually the first event of yours to make it into the game at all, because your track Motorsport Mexico was the first event to make it into the festival playlist. So tell us a little bit about that.
All right, yeah, this is a little different in is that, you know, I build a lot of rally tracks, but obviously this is not. But it was something that, you know, I wanted to build a fully man-made track, and so I found a good area on the map where I could build, where there was a lot of open space, you know, next to the start area that was higher in elevation than the rest of the map, so I didn't have to dodge a lot of trees or buildings or anything like that. And then so I just started building, and as I was going, I was kind of learning as I was going, because I mean, I think I built this probably back in December or so, the first year, or right after the game came out. And so I started building and kind of figured out ways to do things like make a nice smooth circular curve, you know, and kind of just went from there. I like to test drive a lot, so I spend a lot of time just, you know, I'll build a small section, drive it, and say, okay, this feels good, or oh no, this just doesn't feel right, let me redo that. And just going and going, which at the time was kind of interesting, because this was before we had the ability to save and edit. So I literally had my Xbox on for probably a week and a half straight,
Wow.
just fearing a power outage, you know, or something that was going to...
It's like the old days of
but
game,
so-
isn't it? Where you're trying to not turn the console off because you can't save it.
Right, yeah, it was a little bit of this gamble, like just fingers crossed every night when I went to bed, and the first thing I'd check in the morning.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Definitely know that feeling. So they're very meticulous sort of process there. A very meticulous approach to building the tracks. Maybe that word you'd use to define your build style. How would you define it?
That's probably not a bad word to go. I mean, I'm kind of analytical in the way I think and such, and so I definitely spend a lot of time trying to get things really lined up, really clean. You know, some of these photos here, you know, I build a lot of tracks that kind of mimic the style that's in the in-game races, and I spend a ridiculous amount of time just placing walls and getting them lined up and, you know, angled to where they all line up with each other and they're level with the ground. And so it's a really slow process, but you know, I enjoy it. I mean, it's kind of relaxing. I will say that you know, I won't build for hours and hours. You know, you got to stop and walk away if you start getting feeling a bit tedious. But I enjoy it. I mean, I'll toss an audiobook on and in my headphones, and I'll just be listening to a book while I'm just plugging away making stuff.
Just get in the zone. Then you realize you haven't eaten for 6 hours. You're just absolutely tunnel visioned.
Yeah, I get a lot of reminders from my daughter, like, when is dinner? It's like, let me finish this real quick.
Very important, very important. I mean, looking at these maps, there's so much obvious care that's gone into the placement of absolutely everything. Everything looks really thought through. And as you said, you're very like analytical and logical with the approach you have to creating these. So it's no surprise to learn that you are an engineer by day. They really do look like they're actually a part of the Horizon Mexico world as well, which is really cool. Did that just happen naturally, or was that very intentional?
Trying to make it look realistic was intentional. I mean, there's a lot of times when we were building, you could probably leave stuff just kind of floating up in the air, and I would like to try to go back and say, look, I mean, it may not be perfectly plausible, but it should look somewhat realistic for me. Again, it's kind of just me trying to, you know, be analytical, I guess.
I understand that one, yeah. So definitely a lot of your tracks seem to be focused around rally as well. Is there a reason for that? Like, what speaks to you as a creator about rally tracks?
It's probably, of the different driving options in the game, rally's probably my favorite, and so I really enjoy doing it anyway, just in the in-game races. And one of the things I like to do when I'm building is I tend to try to build something that I like to drive, and so which is one of the reasons I ended up test driving a lot. But and you know, the roads in the game and the terrain is all there, and it's awesome. You know, there's some other builders whose routes are fun to drive, but they're you know, super artistic. You know, Vuku, Josie, you know, Twisted Knot. They build worlds, and I'm not quite that type. I love their stuff, and you know, and I'm just blown away by what they come up with. But it's so my style is not quite the same, but I think we all enjoy each other's stuff, and
it's important to have that blend across the community as well, you know, having that more like fantastical side, and then having like you're creating these very well thought out tracks that are there's something you want to drive on, clearly, otherwise you wouldn't be test driving it so much. And that's the beauty of being able to create these tracks, right? You're making, you're like, I want to make something I enjoy driving on, so I'm gonna just figure out what that is and then go through that process. I mean, have you been working on anything recently that people can look forward to playing soon?
Yeah, I've got two that are really in works right now. One of them is another rally route, very similar to what we were seeing earlier, and that one's actually pretty much done. I've just kind of got a little tidying up to do, and so that one I'll probably be actually releasing within probably the next week. So that'll be coming soon, called Mesa Circuit, I think. And then outside of that, I've got another. It's a cross country event, which is something I haven't built in 5 yet. Is anything cross country, but one of the other creators that I know, that Ranger Rick, had built a race in this one area on the map that turns out in one specific season in the right weather, this big farmland fields all gets really, really muddy. And when I was running his track, I'm like, oh, I've got to build something here. And I didn't even know what. I just want to build something here. And so I just started building an event there. And it's funny because it's still, you know, it's cross country, and it's like I said, on the side of a hill, but I'm still kind of laying it out a lot like I do my other tracks, where it's, you know, walled in these straight sections and then these big sweeping curves or arcs. And,
still got very much your style.
Right, and it's fun to drive, and I think it's actually going to be something that's going to be really fun to drive in convoy, because you know, because it's so slippery and a little chaotic. I mean, at least some of the folks I know of, that those can be real fun in a big group. So that one probably a few weeks out still, because there's a lot of cleanup I've still got to do in there.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of community, if you're having a convoy of people who all enjoy racing along with that, I mean, are there any resources or communities you'd encourage new creators to check out, maybe?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of places out there. I mean, whether, you know, you start following people on Twitter or hopping on Reddit. I spend a good chunk of my time on Discord, and there's a few communities there that I'm a member of. One is Autosport Therapy, another Discord called Level, and then one that's becoming a lot more popular these days is the Forza Creators Guild, which I think is the brainchild of Twisted Knot and maybe James Miata. And like that place is really a lot of the guys that are known for building are all slowly kind of coalescing there. And so, you know, probably 95% of the folks that were nominated for Golden Tanks, you know, come in there and talk, and, you know, we talk shop and share our events. And actually they're now, late in the last month or two, every Saturday, you know, a dozen of us will get together and run new tracks that someone has submitted. And so cool. We're trying each other's stuff out, having a good time. But, you know, whether that or, you know, whether other socials, I mean, definitely there's a lot out there, but those are probably the big three that I'm in on a regular basis.
Really? It sounds like a wonderful group of people as well. You're all working with each other as well to make each other better and create cool things. So very awesome. Type Hardfuck, it has been a pleasure chatting with you today. Thank you so much for being here on Forza Monthly, and congrats once again on the award. Well done.
Oh, thank you. And awesome that you guys had me on.
Absolutely. Hopefully we'll have you back again sometime. And if you liked what you saw, please do check out Type Hardfuck on social media for share codes and details on his latest creations. And if there's somebody you'd like to nominate for a future Community Spotlight to come over here on the show, have me question them, see everything, show everything they've done to the community, you can do so by nominating them at aka.ms/community spotlight. There is more community news up next, but first let's take a look at last month's official Forza livery contest winners. Enjoy. Absolutely stunning variety, as always. Well, now is the time I'm usually joined by Turn 10 community manager Ali Tack, but he's unable to be on the show today. He did pass through some events for me to share with you, though. So, first of all, there is a new Rivals event kicking off today in Forza Motorsport 7. The Forza Grand Prix coincides with the start of IndyCar season, and you can put your skills to the test with the 2019 IndyCars on the road course at Homestead, Miami, and win some fantastic driver gear in the process. Look at that. How snazzy that looks. Lovely. For more info, follow Forza Motorsport on Twitter. And of course, there are loads of events to get involved with in the Forza community next week. We've got the community calendar here, so you can check it out, have a look-see for yourself. It's a pretty full calendar. You got competitive race events in both Forza Motorsport 7 and Forza Horizon 5, depending on what floats your boat. And if you're looking for something casual, check out Light Club Roleplay. We've had them here on the show before, and they're fantastic group of people. And with that, we are at the end of our show. Be sure to visit the Forza blog for all the details shared thus far about the new expansion, Forza Horizon 5 Rally Adventure, and follow Forza social channels for more news and updates as we lead up to launch on March 29th. It's not too far away. And of course, tune back in tomorrow and every Friday for Forza Friday. It's a weekly stream that is hosted by members of Turn 10 Studios. Always a lovely time. A huge thank you to Charlie, to Playground Games, and to Type Hardrock for joining us today. And thank all of you once again for watching. It's been a pleasure. See you next time. Bye.